The H-1B visa lottery ballot is going to be opening very, very soon for 2025 this March. And if you don't have an employer lined up, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are not eligible to apply. You may still be able to apply for the H-1B lottery. Yes, and that's something that has just recently been changed as a part of the H-1B modernization. One of the facts that were very well highlighted in the H-1B modernization, which came just before the Trump era 2.0 began, is the fact that you can now go ahead, set up your own company, set up your own LLC, your own entity, and using that, you can basically petition for yourself for the H-1B. Yes, you are still subject to the minimum salary. Yes, you still need to be in the specialized occupation. But no, you do not necessarily need an employer to sponsor yourself for the H-1B. So who is this for? Number one, for entrepreneurs, people who want to set up their own company and run their own entity legitimately in the US. Number one, it's for those people. It's a big win for us. Number two, it's for people who are not getting an H-1B sponsor. If you're not getting an employer to sponsor you for the H-1B, you could just go ahead and create your own LLC and then sponsor yourself. Once you actually get the sponsorship, and of course, it's subject to you passing through the lottery, success rates are only about 20%. But still, if you do get through, you should be able to work with any other employer, either on a contractual basis, that means your LLC will stay in between, or you could just do an H-1B transfer and you could actually transfer H-1B under one of those companies where you want to work. Now, here are the exact steps to self-sponsor H-1B. The first thing you need to do is to set up your business. This could be an LLC, a C Corp, S Corp, depending on what you're eligible for. You want to register it in a favorable state and, well, get the licenses to actually operate your LLC. Then you also want to secure an EIN, which is an employer identification number from the IRS. This process may take anywhere from 1 week to 1.5 months, depending on whether you have a social security number or not. Over the past year, I've set up my own LLC and hope many people set up LLCs. It's really quite simple, and one of the best places to do it in would be the state of Delaware. Next, number two, you want to secure an employer-employee relationship. You want to show that you are not alone in this endeavor. There is someone who manages you. What you want to do over here is to appoint a board of directors above you who still have the capacity to hire you or fire you in the company. You want to keep records of performance reviews and what the company structures are so that if tomorrow anyone asks, you have a legitimate business ongoing. Remember that H-1B is a very scrutinized visa type, so USCIS officers are bound to sometimes visiting you or your company's address to check if you're actually employed by the company. Now, don't worry, this part can be easily bypassed depending on whether you're doing C2C employment or you transfer directly under, let's say, a full-time employer. Next, the third step you want to do is to file for the H-1B. Here you want to draft and submit an H-1B petition, an I-129 to the USCIS. Of course, all your documents including employer-employee relationship, business legitimacy, and the proof of you being in a specialty occupation, all of this goes into this petition. This can be done easily online. Number four, you now want to prove your specialty occupation. Remember, H-1B is for a list of specialty occupations only. Over here, you want to provide evidence of your qualifications, your degree, just to prove that you have actually studied in that specialty occupation. And remember, this does not necessarily need to be a US degree. Next, you also want to create a connect between what you have studied or what you have experience in versus what you are actually going to be doing. Are these two related? Whatever your designation is in this company, are you actually performing the same role or the same capacity? And once you've done that, you can now move on to the point number 5. And that is to, of course, comply with the wage rules. As of today, for most of the H-1B petitions, you need to have a salary above $60,000 on an annual basis. At this stage, you would want to begin the process of obtaining an LCA, a labor condition application from the Department of Labor. This is essentially used to show that your wages will be exceeding or meeting the minimum requirements set by the H-1B. Remember, your employer doesn't need to actually have the amount of money today to pay you, but they should be able to show that they will have that amount of money by the time you actually start your H-1B. And that's it. That's your whole process. Let's talk about a couple of challenges here. Number one challenge, of course, is funding. If it's your own company and you don't have enough funds to even sustain for 6 to 8 months in the US, it becomes difficult to show that you have enough finances to pay yourself. Depending on a case-by-case basis, a strategy may need to be made, and I would recommend that you consult an immigration attorney for the same. Over the past 2 years, we have filed 400 plus petitions for O1 and EB1 visa applications with our attorney, and they also do H-1Bs. So I'm certain that we may be able to help you with that as well. If you have questions regarding your case, it might just be as simple as dropping me a WhatsApp on the number in the description. Alternatively, you can connect with a lot of similar people on a similar journey by using our YMGrad discussions page, where you can sign up and start interacting with people who may actually be doing the same thing. Another challenge is compliance. You need to maintain the employer-employee relationship as a part of your endeavors in future as well. And of course, the main challenge here is the lottery system. That's the elephant in the room. You need to be able to essentially get through the lottery, and only 20% of people are actually getting through the lottery. So 8 people out of 10 are actually just not going through. In such a scenario, you might also want to keep as a backup the O1 visa, which, by the way, you can apply for with the same LLC. In fact, you can go ahead and apply for both H-1B and O1 at the same time, and none of these petitions will impact the result of each other. Now, there's no cap, no lottery, and it is simply merit-based, and it also offers a pathway to a green card for even Indian nationals within 3 years if you actually get onto the O1. And the best part is that there's no salary requirements, unlike the H-1B. So if you'd like to learn more about the O1 visa, you can again reach out to me, or you can watch this video on my channel where I explain the same. And of course, if you need help with the O1, H-1B, EB1, checking your eligibility, all of that can be done. Just shoot me a message on WhatsApp. Also, when you sign up on YMGrad.com, we're giving you a free cheat sheet on the O1 and EB1 visas, so you can actually go ahead and start your own process for the same as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you share this with the people who need to know. Goodbye and take care until next time.